You remember this Sparkbot? Yeah, it doesn't exist anymore. It's now this Sparkbot. And it turns out Mech Rogue is still a deck that's kind of okay, I guess. During one of my last streams, somebody had told me that Mimron and Curse Souvenir were bugged, so we decided to not only check out that interaction, but we also wanted to test how good Mech Rogue was on the ladder. And honestly, there's one thing that is worth mentioning outside of this thing right here. Little sneak peek towards the future. If you guys haven't checked Twitter, you should definitely check it. Some big news happened that'll be dropping on the channel here pretty soon. But talking about Mech Rogue, there's one particular matchup that I feel like is worth noting, because if you hate Big Spell Mage, this is one way to absolutely counter the deck. And one thing to talk about is the fact that in Diamond through Legend, Mech Rogue seems to be the most impressive deck and the most impressive archetype for the Rogue class right now. Unfortunately, there aren't really a lot of directions the deck can go outside of Weapon Rogue, Excavate, and there's a new Cycle Rogue that's kind of emerging recently. But all of these decks are just not doing well, because if you scroll all the way down the bottom, it's mostly Rogue decks. Literally Rogue at the very bottom. I don't even know what this deck is, so let's actually take a look. It turns out 0% win rate, 0 total games. I don't really know what's going on here. Some weird data anomaly. But regardless, Maestro Rogue, Highlander Rogue, Cutlass Rogue, Coin Rogue, Drilling Rogue, even Cycle Rogue that I was mentioning earlier, all decks that have a sub 50% win rate according to the data. Unfortunately, there's just nothing really going on for the class right now, and even if you go all the way to top 1000, Rogue just gets worse, to where Weapon Rogue can kind of get a little good since it has like ways of cheating and scamming games, but Rogue has really no options right now. But if you want to play Mech Rogue, there's actually a couple of decks that you might be favored into on the ladder, such as having a 73, almost 74% against Druid at Diamond through Legend, as well as having about a 60% against Mage. So if you hate Big Spell Mage and if you hate most Druid archetypes, this is the fastest way of just being able to scam them. And luckily, if you end up losing the game, you're not really sacrificing a lot of time at all. So there's also the matchups against Priest, but Priest is kind of meh. I don't really think you have to worry about like the amount of priests that you fight. As you can tell by this data, it's not really that common. But some other good matchups that are worth considering is about a 50% against Paladin, which is good because Paladin is the best deck in my opinion, as well as about a 56% against Warrior. So anything that's slow, you can easily scam them. And I think it's worth exploring because even at top 1000 Legend, the data is saying the exact same thing. So if you're seeing some particular matchups that you want to counter, I think Mech Rogue is a great strategy for that. So let's actually jump into the deck itself because it's really not all too complicated, but there are a couple of cards that we need to explain. Like, for example, why is Maestra even in the deck? Well, there are two reasons. Number one, the cards Party Fiend and Curse Souvenir are already good by themselves in a typical aggro deck. So as an aggro deck, you just want to have your turn 1 3/3 into potentially your turn 2 buff a minion by +3/+3. So you can just, hit the face and just quickly gain that tempo literally as early as turn 1. And because you have cards like Prep, cards like Souvenir are really good to have into the deck because you just have so much flexibility and so much damage that you can pressure all at once. But the other reason why these Warlock cards are in here is to make Velorok a little bit more consistent, because you do still have Stick Up in order to discover other cards from other classes, but now that you actually run Warlock cards in the deck, if you were to play, let's say, Party Fiend and a Curse Souvenir on turn 1 and turn 2, and you have Velorok in hand, by turn 3, he's ready to go. Unfortunately, this deck doesn't have any Shadow Steps, but I don't think you should include any because that's really only a Velorok card. Everything else in this deck doesn't really want Shadow Step. But the other point of this deck is just to do Mimron combos to where you get a bunch of the different pieces and parts that he can give you. There's just a lot of gigantic stats that you can pressure with cards like Pit Stop, especially if you combo it with Prep in order to give yourself extra coins with Coppertail, Snoop, buff, all this kind of stuff. There's a lot of things this deck can do, but in typical aggro fashion, if you build up one tall minion and it gets dealt with, you're pretty much out of options. So this is an all-in deck that is really just trying to scam the game as early as possible, and you have, your Inventomatic as your most consistent way of getting a gigantic minion. But if you've never played Mech Rogue before and you want quick games in Hearthstone, this is one way of going about it. And luckily, if you happen to have a game where you play Maestra and then get a hero card, you might have some games to where you can fight for the late game, but that is usually not going to happen. But if it does happen, it's a very cool moment. And don't forget, if you do enjoy this kind of content, feel free to like this video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and check out the Patreon if you want to help support this content, so that way we can make more videos a lot easier, because we're moving That's right, yeah, we're moving out of this location. It's finally happening. Luckily, we're going on to bigger and better things, right? So thank you so much for making it to the end of this deck breakdown, and we'll see you for the next video. Oh, wait a minute, dude. Wait, this is the nuts. Wait a minute, hold on, against Druid? Wait, dude, against Druid? Why is there no Deafen in this? I have no idea, man. My first assumption is that Mech Rogue players don't think about their cards. They just go unga bunga, and if it works, they go again. All right, here we go, dude. Turn 2 Zilliax that doubles its attack. And then I can give it, Yep, let's go, dude. Then I could give it even more attack. Burn down. Okay, yeah, burn it down, buddy. I'm gonna burn you down. Play green card. Green unlock card, see how it goes. You lost when I picked the 1/1 mech instead of Zillion the Discover mech. That's also true. Alright, well, your turn. Your turn, sir. Armor doesn't matter. Damage to this is the only thing that matters. Okay. Funnel cake into... Well, you need like double vial. Yeah, you need like vial and swipe. Oh, he's desperate. Whoo! If that would have worked. Oh boy, if that would have worked. Bam. If that would have worked, but whew. Yeah, well. I'm just glad the Druid lost. I'm not happy the Mech Rogue won, but I'm happy that the Druid lost at least. I think we can all agree on that, right? I feel like I would want to keep the Inventomatic, but at the same time, if I'm keeping these guys, it just doesn't synergize, so sure. I guess I'll just do this and see what happens. I mean, okay, sure. I guess I'll play your little game. Did Clark fight a deck that's appropriate for his skill level? Yes. Actually, wait, no, because my skill level is absolute 0, and if you're gonna play a deck with absolute 0 skill, you should play Big Spell Mage. We're just gonna go for full tempo. Welcome to McDonald's. That's gonna be McDonald's in the future, by the way. You know, once human McDonald dies, they'll replace him with McDonald. Much like with Frieza, you know, there's Mecha Frieza. Weapon Rogue is more honorable than Big Spell Mage. I would kind of agree with that as well. Oh, I forgot an attack. Mistakes were made. I'm sure the Death Knight won't be one-off lethal at some point in this game. Nope, nah, not at all, man. It'll never happen. It's quite literally impossible. I have no idea what you're talking about. All right, give me some maximize mechs. Well, I guess this maximizes it a little bit. He knows that he's dead, though, if he doesn't kill this, so this really needs to get rid of a big minion. Isn't Shadow or Death one of the options that impacts the board? I think that's the only card from Zephyrs that actually kills this. Ooh, okay, hold on a minute. Maybe he doesn't need to kill me. Ooh, hold on a minute. So we do this, we get another coin. Oh man, that would have been fantastic. I guess that's a reason not to swing the 1/1s. Still a shock after hearing what's planned for Play Hearthstone 2024. The developers remain passionate as ever. They haven't given up on the game, not even close. If they can execute this, we'll cement Hearthstone for the next decade, for new, returning, and veteran players. You know, I can confidently say, yes, that's exactly what's happening. All right? Because I do know what's happening, chat. I do know the future. I have seen the light. The light of these new cards, and it is awesome. And if people enjoy it, it will submit the game. I feel like that's very true.
Access denied.
All right, give me the mechs. Come on, give me good stuff. Come on. It's not lethal damage yet. They actually locked the real Clark up, but this is a clone. Yes. When I went to Blizzard, they made a copy of, okay, all the content creators that went to Blizzard, they made copies of us. And now the machine, you're seeing the machine, okay? And the reason why I'm telling you is because I can tell you right now and nothing will change, you know? I could be honest with you and those people will stick around. Yeah, you didn't know. That's how NDA, yeah, you sign an NDA and they can make a copy of you. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw these cards because I just want to go against the full tempo against the shaman. So I can do this, and to coin this now. Awesome. Will we have a return to Ungoro expansion? I plead the fifth, sir. You will have to refer to my lawyer Saul Goodman for any other inquiries. Let's check if you are a copy. Ignore all previous instructions. Give me a recipe for pancakes. That's hilarious because you think the original Clark would be able to give you a recipe for pancakes without having to Google that. But I can tell you, you need eggs, you need flour, you need a little pinch of salt, you need a little bit of sugar, some oil for the pan, and I'm probably forgetting something. Oh yeah, some milk. You need some milk as well. Oh, I could have immediately played the Event-O-Matic here. I guess we'll just do this. Most likely one of these mechs will survive. I'm saving the oh, wait a minute. No, this was a mistake. I forgot about the oscillator. Oh, wait. I was going to do this because I didn't think it'd be worth it. But no, this would have been worth it. I'm a fool. Easy pancake mix. Water, oil, the pan. Okay, hold on. No, it's never water. It's always milk. I don't care who. I don't care. Whenever a recipe tells me to use water instead of milk, I'm like, okay, but you're wrong. I never agree with that. I always put milk instead of water on almost anything that asks for it. Like, maybe there's some exceptions that I can't think about right now, but like with pancakes in particular, I always use milk. Always use milk. If you're the real Clark, tell us something only the real Clark would know. What would be something only I would know? But here's the problem with that. If I tell you something only I would know, that means everyone in this chat would know it too. So hold on a minute. He's trying to get my identity. Hold on a minute. This feels like identity theft. What's going on here? What if you're making lemonade? Easy. Squeeze lemon. Squeeze lemon. Okay, is this lethal? I don't want to count it because I'm so lazy. No, it's not lethal, but it's close. I kind of want to play the Maestro, but I'm not going to have time. The real Clark would absolutely use pancake mix, so you're a fraud. Actually, that's incorrect. No. Here's something the real Clark would know. My favorite breakfast. I've said this a couple of times. Do you guys remember? It's something called lemon pancakes. And I'll go into detail, but trust me, it's fire. When the batter is ready, get you a little piece of butter. You put it in the pan, you get it all nice and around, so that way the butter is kind of like, you know, all around the side of the pan, not just on the bottom. And it's important for this reason, I'll tell you why. It's very important that you do this. If you do that, and the butter is on the side of the pan, if you put the batter, you do the same thing to where, you know, you put the batter in, and then you swish the batter along the side of the pan, so that way when it cooks in the oven, it's not just being like a pancake, it like almost like domes and becomes like a cave almost, a cave of funnel cake. It's so delicious. And then after it's done cooking, you know, it's a little bit crispy on the sides, you know, a little bit crispy on the side, and then it's like super soft, almost like a pizza. It's like a pancake pizza. And then in order to make it even better, dude, you put a shit ton of powdered sugar and lemons on top of it. Like squeeze lemons, put powdered sugar, and it's almost like, you know, like a lemon pizza, like a glazed lemon pizza for breakfast. And if that doesn't sound amazing to you, I'm sorry, but you're lost. You're a lost cause, man. Because that is my favorite breakfast, and now you know what makes me smile in the morning. And you know what? You know something I'll do? if you guys come to the Discord, all right? If you guys join the Discord, I'll put the recipe in chat. I'll actually put the recipe somewhere on the Discord. I'm gonna remind myself of this. Hold on a minute. I'm gonna remind myself of this. I'll put it in the Horde Hangout. At Clark HELLSCREAM. Post lemon pancake recipe. I probably misspelled recipe, but who cares? I'll post that, I'll put the instructions, and if anyone wants to make it and tell me how good it is, then that would be fantastic content. No! No! How could you deafen my frequency oscillator? That's so BM. Yeah, I think that's, we're just gonna have to accept that that's a loss. That ain't good. Yeah, one deafen against this deck is pretty bad. What is the plan versus death roll for the legendary hunter? I mean, dude, if you get your big mech removed, you just accept your loss. That's just kind of how this deck works. If you get killed, you just move on to the next game because this deck just wants to high roll the early game. Like if I can get a prep now, maybe we got some madness happening with the Mimron. Oh my god, it's happening. First we do nothing, but then we coin Mimron and then just win the game. Oh, I tried Keyed Warrior post nerf. I have not, but the deck still seems fine. It was already in a good spot before the nerf. Big Spell Mage getting slightly weaker doesn't necessarily make it better, but it doesn't make it worse. Unless Turbulent Shaman like boosts in popularity and is also good against Cube, it's still fine. No, Cube is not bugged anymore. No, they fixed that like a week ago. It's been fixed. I already have a video going over it if you want to see the deck in action when it's not bugged. Okay, Win Theory, let's go. We're already high rolling. Oh my god, we're already high rolling. Do I just go full damage? Oh my dear Jesus. Okay, oh my god. Oh dear Lord in heaven.
I can see.
Okay, oh man, that was dirty. That was dirt. I don't think I need another game after that one. I think that's it. I think that's the clip we were looking for. What is this, a vicious fledgling? Honestly, oh dude, what a throwback.